Did Hassan steal my fucking overlay? What the fuck is this, nigga? I invented this shit, bitch. I'm about to get him banned again for copyright infringement. What the fuck? No, I'm not reacting to a reaction. They just put him in here in the beginning.
Bro, why'd they make this like Hans Zimmer
Hey Hassan,
What? This is so meta. What is this?
I know you're going to react to this video, so we want to invite you to be in an episode of Middle Ground.
Oh?
Maybe a one-on-one discussion with someone like Ben Shapiro.
Oh! The views. Sorry, I'm not a clout chaser. I'm not a clout chaser. Oh Lord. Nah, I'm pretty sure Hassan has openly said multiple times that he is not open to debating people like that. He is not a hashtag debater. That's a crazy way to shoot your shot, by the way. I guess he wasn't responding to the emails or the DMs.
It sounds like what you're saying is you want to be able to introduce all ways of life.
Yes.
So would it be okay to include a book with a man having a relationship with a 12-year-old in that book? I know it's extreme.
No.
Hold on, but just hear me out.
Because now
Hear
you're
me out.
equivocating gay people to pedophiles.
No, this is why I'm bringing it up. Is who?
No. Whoa, nah. Oh, nah.
Who establishes the boundary?
The law.
Bro said the law. I mean, like, whose mind even goes there? Oh, nah, I knew this video was gonna, oh my God, bro. I knew this video was gonna be bad. I knew it was going to be bad, man. Oh, no.
Teachers have their own political agendas. Step forward if you agree.
Oh, here they go.
I think it's important to recognize that individuals will have political agendas. It's a natural thing, and people should understand their political views. I think where we need to differentiate it is whether a teacher should have a political agenda in a classroom.
Bro, but hold on. So this is all fine and dandy or whatever. You can say that, like, yes, there shouldn't be political ideologies spread in a classroom. And of course I would agree. Like, people should be given, you know, as unbiased of information as they can. But also in this country, we have to literally pledge to God every day before school. So like, if that's the case, then shouldn't we also be removing religion from schools as well? Like, why are we forced to learn about religion and shit like that? You know what I mean? Like, the same shit should be applied. Like, we should also learn about religions because they're historically important, but you're literally being indoctrinated, like, from day one to, like, be onto your hashtag religion bullshit.
But is your idea of a political agenda like these teachers telling students, this is who you should vote for. If you vote for these people, it's wrong.
Yes,
if you vote for
or
these people, it's
ridiculing the beliefs that they may have for political or religious reasons, and using their position of authority to mold the minds of everyone else.
When it comes to diversity or these new sort of terms, I am not for
Big facts, bro.
certain types of so-called diversity when it comes to these new kind of topics.
Oh,
Can you
brother.
expand on that? Like, what do you think
Like
shouldn't be
critical
included?
race theory or some of the
This is gonna be the longest 40 minutes of my life.
It's not diverse if you're the teacher, the person of authority in the classroom, and you are saying this is how something should be.
You know, we do talk about just what it looks like for different people in different communities. So when I talk about a political agenda, the agenda that I have in the classroom is to create an environment where folks are able to, you know, better understand from wherever someone's coming from.
The problem with that, and I understand
How do
the sentiment as a teacher, if a child is sitting there and they happen to be black and you're saying, well, black people such and such and such. I mean, you're really, that's not okay.
I do have to stop you there because that's not really said. It's not said black people do this.
Well,
it's not said
it's just an
Mexicans do
example.
this. Again, it's trying to understand from
man.
perspectives. That's not saying that every group aligns on the same thought. That's not saying every group is a monolith. What it's saying is, even if you disagree with somebody or you come from a different tradition or a different cultural background, those people's opinions can still be.
Oh, this is gonna be bad, chat.
I'm gonna be honest, as a teacher, especially after COVID and all of that, I don't have time for a political agenda. I'm here trying to catch up with curriculum, pick up my readers that are, 2, 3 grade levels behind. I do not have time for that. I teach social emotional skills and all of that, but I'm not here to kind of, you need to believe this, and that. No. If you're a good person, we're good. We're gravy. All good. You know what I mean?
But your definition, and sometimes this can happen and it becomes political, is
Oh
your
my
definition
God.
of a good person. Would you think that I'm a good person because I'm raising my kids to be with Judeo-Christian values and they live in a heteronormative home where we talk about how divorce is wrong, cheating is wrong. We have friends of the LGBT community.
Okay, so then we're not talking about you. Like, the problem is that, like, if your kid ends up being homophobic or being anti-LGBT or whatever the fuck, that's when it becomes an issue. If they become a bully, if they become a mean person or whatever the fuck. Like, it's not that deep. It's just really not. You can be Christian, you can be right-wing, like, no one gives a fuck or whatever. Do whatever the fuck you want to do. Just, like, maybe don't harass kids. I don't know.
First week of school, what pronouns you wanted to go by?
Who cares? Why does that matter? Everybody has preferred pronouns. Hey, are you heteronormative? Are you cis? Okay, cool. She, her, he, him. Everybody has like, you wouldn't like it if I walked up to you and said, oh, he told me this when referring to you, right? No, because that's not your pronoun. Everybody has pronouns.
I mean, not what's your favorite subject, how can I help you succeed academically?
Who's to say that wasn't a part of the questions too, you know? And I understand that question could stand out.
So maybe you don't understand that you're teaching politics.
But that's not politics. That's just like basic respect.
Yeah.
I think that's beautiful.
But it's not true.
That's beautiful.
Not to me.
So I think you need your idea that's basic respect. What is the framework of that? Because
oh my God.
I think that many
don't bully kids. That's you go to school to learn and not to be harassed for who you are. I don't know why they're trying to be like specifically obtuse, bruh.
Teachers are going through
oh my God.
And the trainings are saying this is the framework of how we operate in the classroom. But where did that idea come from?
Because it's based off, it's called a thing called data.
Did you
so
do that in
No, hold on.
2010?
A lot of schools have research and development. And so the state also does. So in the state of California, we do research. So at the end of the day, my job is not just to make your kid to feel comfortable. I got 55 students. I got to make 55 students feel comfortable. And so when your kid comes home and tells you, well, Mom, the teacher said, what's my pronouns? Yeah, I did say what's your pronoun. I also said, what's your favorite TV show? What's your favorite food?
Oh! Mama, there go that man. Oh, I'm gonna love this dude. Oh, I'm gonna love this dude. Oh, I'm gonna love this dude. That's what I'm talking about. W teacher.
I am a college professor now. I was previously a 3rd, 4th grade teacher. Teaching 3rd and 4th grade was horrible. There were parents who thought their child was special and should be treated a certain way. And it just wasn't doable. The constant complaining.
That's real.
Accusing people of doing things that are not going on in our classes, not being enough for their child. It was just too much. When parents don't have the knowledge of what goes on inside of a school, I think it's important for those parents to go to the school. And we as educators like our parents to be involved. You know, again, I have too many students to push an agenda. I do my job, what they pay me to do.
Oh, that's a W man's right there. Please don't fumble throughout this whole video. Please do not fumble throughout this whole video, my king. I'm begging.
Discussion about sexuality.
Oh my God, this video is gonna make me go insane. This video is gonna make me go insane, my brother.
Belong in schools.
Oh, here they go. Oh my God. They're gonna immediately jump to anything that isn't a heterosexual relationship and classify that as not belonging in schools.
I had a sex ed class when I was in 3rd grade, and it was quite simple. Boys go in this room, girls go in this.
Wow, is anybody shocked? Any shockers in the chat? Anybody shocked here? Nope, not at all.
Room. They play a little video on a black and white TV. You know, you see the genitalia and you're like, oh God, I got one of those. Cool, now we're figuring out what I am. The fear is
oh my God.
Boundaries. If they do the classroom thing where they want to split kids up, how many genders are we going to do this? We're going to put boys, them, and then girls, and then how many rooms do we need to create for equality? Or are we really chasing equity? And I think parents now are beginning to realize we've got to stop this and create framework about sexuality.
Oh my God.
In a hyper-sexualized culture. My kids don't need to know at 6, 7, and 8 years old about different types of sexual acts. That's not appropriate.
Nigga, do you think they're teaching the Kama Sutra in class? Like, what the fuck? Also, why the fuck was it ever normal to split up kids in general? You know what I mean? I feel like back in the day, whatever the fuck, when they split up boys and girls or whatever the fuck, I think it's important that everybody knows about human biology. Like, what's up with that? Like, who the fuck what does he think is going on in classrooms?
People think that this is just kind of happening, it's a one-off. It is in so many schools. Where I live in Florida, there was a poster going around where kids could text anonymous strangers to get information about sex. And on this poster in school, wanna get laid?
Wow.
I mean, it's beyond, and there.
So one, I obviously haven't seen, I don't know what the fuck's going on there, but if that is true, that's absolutely insane. Secondly, I don't know how else to say this, but you live in Florida. I feel like crazy shit happen there all the time. I'm not gonna lie. Like, you know what I mean? The only reason why I might even believe that is because you live in Florida. That should sound crazy as fuck. But yeah, obviously, posters inside like a middle school shouldn't be like, wanna get laid. Obviously, nobody would agree that that should be happening.
My oldest is 9 years old. She's in 3rd grade and she's been exposed to things, and we do have conversations about it. But that's a conversation that I should be having with my 9-year-old daughter. If a 6th grader or a 4th grader is going to be prompted by a teacher, hey, what are your pronouns? As a parent, I should have a heads up about.
What is that? I'm sorry. We're talking about sexuality. What does your pronoun have anything to do with that? Like what like legit, what does your pronouns have anything to do about sexuality in schools? That has nothing to do with sex at all. Also, like, what do you mean your child doesn't understand the question of pronouns? Like, what, like, do they call themselves a girl? Do they call themselves a boy? Are they non-binary? Like, it's just, it's really simple.
I have a family member who first day of 6th grade was asked for her pronouns, and she stood up and said that as a person of faith, she believed that God didn't make a mistake making her a girl.
So the correct answer is she, her. She didn't have to stand up and say, my brothers and sisters in this 3rd grade class, let it be known that God made no mistake when he made me. The Lord above made no mistake by making me a woman. The question was, the question was, are your pronouns she, her? Okay, we got it. Like, what the fuck? I'm not gonna say anybody is lying when they're having these discussions, because I think we have to take it like at face value. Like, let's just assume that is the truth, right? Like let's just assume that a 9-year-old girl really stood up in front of her class and said that shit, okay? Let's just assume that's reality for like 2 seconds, okay? I mean, that's insane. Like, I think that kid is like out of touch in a way, you know what I mean? And you want to say like, oh, like when raising your kids or like when going to school, they shouldn't be like pushing agendas. But if your girl, if like your little girl like stood up and said that in front of a classroom, who's really pushing the agenda? Because what little kid is going to say that in a 3rd grade classroom? You feel me?
Emphasizing, how a lot of parents today felt a goodness of the way that sexual education was conducted in the past. So there is an agreement that sexuality should be talked about in schools. The disagreement is whether it should just be purely heteronormative or if we should include all aspects of sexuality. I don't think that we're doing demonstrations to encourage children how to have sex, but this is something that we are trying to, again, educate and make them aware that this kind of things happen.
I think it is a hot button topic, right? Because like when you're a teen or when you're moving into high school and stuff like that, that's when kids really start to explore themselves and shit like that. So I think like they should be taught like about being safe and not, making stupid mistakes and doing dumb shit like that. Like, I think sexual education is extremely important, especially once you get into those teen years, right? And I can see people being uncomfortable with that kind of conversation happening when they're in like, elementary school or like, or middle school or something. But I think like once you start getting to like 7th or 8th grade, I think that's when you should have some sex ed classes. And then once you get into high school, that's when you start to learn a lot more about what sex actually is and all that stuff. Like, I think like once you get into like, I think very early on, you teach them about biology, right? So I think there's a difference between sex ed and like biology, right? Like teaching children how their bodies are going to work and how their bodies will eventually develop, with women getting periods and men getting, a rush of like whatever the fuck or whatever. I think teaching them that so that way they understand that is important. But then once you get into like the whole sexual aspect, I think, yeah, that you can say for when they're maybe a little bit older or whatever. I mean, I don't got the answers. I'm just some guy. I don't have a kid. I don't fucking know. But like, that just is what seems to make sense. Kids are going to have sex regardless, so teach them to have safe sex. Yeah, right. Like, just teach them the bare essentials, the bare basics about like sex. You know, again, like nobody is going to school and learning the Kama Sutra, my niggas. Just teach them to be safe, to make smart decisions. You know what I mean? To know right from wrong, all that bullshit. And also, I feel like you should be teaching the classes together. Like separating by gender kind of makes no sense to me. I feel like the information you would teach the boys or the girls or non-binaries or whatever, everybody should know all that information. This is how I feel about it.
While you grow up, you're going to have to experience somebody who's of this orientation.
Kids are naturally curious, and I think that what I'm hearing from you is I understand where you're maybe potentially coming from, but then where's the line between that sex education and introducing them to porn?
What the fuck? Like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? I don't even know what to say to that. I don't even know what to say to that.
Because porn can be educational. I was a virgin when I got married, and for years I was made fun of and heard, well, how are you going to know if you don't try it? We hear that a lot too. If you haven't tried to kiss a girl to see if you like it or not, then how do you really know that you're not a lesbian? How do you really know that you're not gay if you've never slept with a guy? How do you really know that you want to be in a monogamous relationship?
Dicks never entered my ass, and I never really wanted to. So I'm straight.
That's my bestie. What age do we teach them of the gay hierarchy?
I feel like the gay hierarchy theorem should be taught as soon as possible, truly. Like, I feel like the gay hierarchy theorem, I just feel like, you know what I mean? It should be the new Pledge of Allegiance. You know what I mean? Holding hands is gayer than sucking dick. We all know it. Like, I won't explain any further. Maybe for another stream, if you guys really want me to go into the details of the gay hierarchy theorem, I will. But for right now, all you need to know is that if you hold hands with another man, that is more gay than sucking his dick. That's all it is.
Relationship if you don't sleep around. And when you start to introduce those questions to children, specifically prepubescent ones, they're going to naturally be curious, and their emotional and hormonal maturity is not there to be making those types of decisions that have.
I just want to know where she's getting this information from. Like, where does she think that like knowing gay people exist is going to make your child want to be like gay or something? Like, where is this coming from? Present them, like, all you can do your best, present children or present people with information, and then they'll come to their own conclusions. And like, let's say, for example, your kid does get a little curious. And let's say, for example, your kid does experiment with boys. And let's say, for example, they like boys. What's wrong with that? Come on, Miss Ma'am. Go ahead. What's wrong with your child being a little curious? I'm not gonna lie, I was curious. I think I was 13 when I got curious. I was like, yo, do I like men? You know, I kissed a boy a few times. I was like, you know what? I think I prefer women's lips. Also, I don't really want a dick in my ass. Also, I don't really want to fuck a boy. So I was like, I think women do it for me, bro. And I'm straight, you know? It is what it is. Because of people like this, I was so ashamed of that. Like, my whole life, for whatever reason, I don't know why. Like, I always had this fear when I was younger that, like, the boy that, like, I made out with a couple times when I was, like, 13 or some shit would, like, I would get famous one day, and this nigga would be on, like, Fox News talking about, like, yeah, Omega Pro and we kissed. And the whole country would know that I kissed a boy one time, and they're all gonna call me gay. It's because of bitches like this that I had that fear. I should not have had that fear. Nigga, I kissed a nigga, that don't make me gay, okay? You feel what I'm saying? I kissed a boy, I'm not gay. You feel me? It is what it is. We should all be able to kiss a boy without the fear of the world calling you gay. And even if they do call you gay, it shouldn't matter. Can I kiss you? No, I have a lovely girlfriend that I love with all my heart and soul. You may not kiss me.
Tell you things. Well, guess what? Those same kids come to school and talk about what you're telling them at home. You'll be surprised what I hear from students when I do a what do you think? Let me tell you what my mama and daddy did. Look, I don't have time. Your kid is not that important to me, not to be rude. I got like 300 students. Your kid is no more important than the other 299.
Go ahead, King. Oh, this guy's the GOAT, bruh. Go ahead.
So I don't have time to sit up here and let me get you to think like me. I can't get my own 23-year-old to think like me. At the end of the day, what needs to happen, and this is just my own personal take, parents need to start being parents, because a lot of times the teachers are the
Yo, does he sell any jerseys? I need to hang up his jersey right behind me, bro. Hang his jersey up in the rafters.
Parents, they're parenting your kids because absentee parents.
I think that this conversation is really interesting, and I think
he just cooked.
We need to step back and look at why we automatically assume that if we're telling our children about lesbians, gay people, queer people, why do we immediately equivocate that to telling them about what sex is? That can just be something as simple as, here's a book. In this book, there are 2 dads. This book character has 2 dads. And
that part,
they can be inquisitive, and that's good, right? But also, like, they're gonna be like, cool, there's 2 dads.
All these kids know that there's a dad and a dad and a mom and a mom, and the culture is teaching all of that. So what we've noticed is that the curriculum in 8th grade and up is a lot deeper than that. It's more like, here is how you can have sex so you do not get pregnant.
Yeah, I agree. That should exactly be what's happening, and I'm glad that is finally happening. Because I know when I went to school, I'm a little bit older than you guys in the chat. I know when I went to school, I didn't really learn about that shit. So yes, this is a good thing.
Illustration of anal sex. That is the stuff that we're now reacting against, and that sadly is the trust that's being broken between.
Okay, so here's why it's important to have these conversations, right? Like, if a kid had zero access to sexual education, their only way of learning sexual education would be through porn. And look, we are a very connected society right now. There's internet on literally every device out there. So look, I'm sorry, your little freshman in high school, niggas watching porn. Like, it just is what it is, right? And you see what a lot of this porn shit perpetuates? Incestuous relationships, anal, all this like rough fucking, all this like hold the bitch down and fuck her raw hard, and like that's what porn is, right? It's important that schools will be like, hey, they're probably watching some porn or whatever the fuck, and porn be having anal in it. Let's tell them about what anal porn actually is before they have sex with a girl in high school, and like traumatize this girl or like hurt this girl, or just knowledge is power, bruh.
Between teachers and parents.
Yeah, and I think we're moving into a conversation about comprehensive sex ed. What I am talking about is when I go into this classroom and I'm teaching kids, I'm not going to just teach kids material that is heteronormative.
Out of curiosity, it sounds like what you're saying is you want to be able to introduce all ways of life. Like these are the people that you will encounter with throughout life.
Sure.
That's what I'm arguing. Yes.
So would it be okay to include a book with a man having a relationship with a 12-year-old?
So problematic to equate a gay relationship with a pedophilic one, first and foremost. Absolutely insane for this nigga to do that. Secondly, you interact and encounter gay folks all the time, okay? Because gay folks are members of society that should be respected, trusted like anybody else, okay? Pedophiles are actively condemned. They should be arrested. If you know you're interacting with a pedophile, call the police. Get that nigga locked up. Do not let the nigga on the streets. It's really as simple as that. I cannot believe this nigga just said this shit. Like, I'm gonna be real. I cannot believe I just had to hear this man say this.
In that book. I know it's extreme. Hold on, but just hear me out.
Because now you're equivocating gay people to pedophiles.
No, I'm not.
You literally are.
That is
No. You're drawing a line that I'm not drawing.
And you're definitely crossing the line.
I agree. I agree. And this is why I'm bringing it up, is who establishes the boundary.
The law.
I love this man. Holy shit. This guy is so real, man. He said the law. You can be gay by law. You can't be a fucking pedophile, gang. Like, what? Like, you shouldn't even have to say that.
But what law? The law is
But the law that's been signed in is some blue
No, I'm
states.
sorry. No, there's laws against between adults having sex with children. Now, if a student had 2 parents who happen to be of the same sex, I'm not going to sit there and discount who they are in my class. I cannot do that. I signed a contract.
I would never ask anybody to uplift or suppress any child. I want there to be equality in the classroom. What I am saying is that there are factual instances where this is being taught in classrooms. I pulled my children.
I'm sorry, what's being taught in classrooms? Like that same-sex relationships exist? Okay. Why is that a problem?
out of public school because there are so many instances of this happening. I am a parent. I'm looking in the book bag every day. I'm checking in with homework. I am talking to the teachers and the principals, and I'm involved. But we didn't know that, you know, during class, there were images shown of literal sex acts or describing certain situations that were inappropriate for young children.
I would say it depends on how old her children are, I would say. Because, yeah, honestly, in elementary school, they probably don't need to be shown explicit like images or whatever. Sure. But like once you get to like the age where you start maturing and your body starts maturing and shit like that, I think it is important to know that stuff.
And we're seeing the schools get funding from Planned Parenthood. They tried to pass a bill to put medical facilities to offer abortions in high schools here in California. And
okay, and I'm going to tell you this. When I was in middle school, okay, I knew multiple girls, little girls in middle school that had kids. And I'm not talking about like there was one girl there were multiple girls in middle school that had kids. Their lives were very hard. Maybe they felt like they had no other option. Maybe they actually wanted the kid, whatever, that's their decision, whatever the fuck, whatever. But this is why it's important to teach sexual education. So that way they could have completely avoided that pregnancy entirely. Or if they had access to it, they could have had an abortion or done something else. So that way they didn't have to have that burden of literally growing up as a child while taking care of another child. I knew a girl in 8th grade who had a kid the year before and was pregnant with her second. Okay. This poor girl, like, could you imagine how hard life is for that little girl, bro? Like, think about that shit. Sexual education is so fucking important. So that way, again, you can avoid stuff like this. Or even like, if like kids, like they admit it, right? Kids are a curious bunch. So if you tell them like what sex is like, what sex is, like if you tell them that, maybe that deters them from having sex entirely. Because they're going to be so curious, like it's so taboo, right? Oh, like, oh, don't talk about sex, like no sex this, no sexual education, this, that, whatever. Like they might go ahead and experiment or do some shit with some boys or whatever the fuck. And that is horrible. Or let's say, for example, like like how every woman you've talked to more than likely has been assaulted by a man or whatever. This is another reason why sexual education is so important. So that way women can understand, and that way kids can understand when they're being taken advantage of or when they're being manipulated or something. And then also for the boys to understand to not pressure women into sex, to not harass, assault women, do all. It's important to have this as soon as possible so that way kids know this shit. So that way this type of stuff doesn't happen. I have seen young teenage pregnancies and even preteen pregnancies ruin the lives of some girls that I grew up with. It's horrible. You know what I mean? And yeah, sure, a lot of them, you know, will be happy to be mothers and have, you know, have done great things. And they have, like, I'm not saying like having a kid automatically like invalidates you from a great life or whatever the fuck. But that is a life that they didn't have to go down. That's a life that they didn't have to have.
It's gradual, right? It starts with, this is a book that has 2 dads. This is a book with 2 moms. And it's just a gradual curiosity that could leverage and break away that child from the root in the home.
Motherfuckers love that slippery slope argument when that is like the stupidest shit of all fucking time. First it's like a book with 2 dads in it. Next thing you know, they're showing a hardcore gay porn on it like it's kick.com. Like, bro, what the fuck are you talking about? This is not happening in schools.
My education growing up was fully public education. College is where I started getting a curiosity for truth and education, and I think I'm so passionate about the education system today because it is obviously broken, but how do we fix it? Many of these progressive ideas in fixing it is just more empathy, sympathy, safety, but in reality, I see the public school system isn't actually accomplishing the goal of what education is, which is teaching critical thinking, how to understand.
See, what's crazy is you want to teach kids critical thinking, but then you also want to hide information from them. You don't want same-sex marriages or same-sex relationships taught in schools. You don't want education of human biology, because that's really what a lot of sex education is. It's just human biology. You don't want that taught in schools, but you want them to be critical thinkers. You're saying that like the school system is trying to protect kids and be safe and be all this, but it's not what you're doing. You're teaching your kid the stupid things that you fucking think, and then you want to shelter them from any other like external thought. Like you are the problem you're criticizing.
Affirmative action is racial discrimination.
Let me look up. It says it right here. Affirmative action is the practice or policy of favoring individuals belonging to groups known to have been discriminated against previously. Oh, here they go.
There was a high school down the street from where I live in Los Angeles that encouraged all the kids of color to apply for their school play. And only once all the kids of color received whatever positions they wanted, then the white kids could apply.
I wonder if there's a reason for that. If only there was a crucial part of human history. On the tip of my tongue, fuck. Chat, what is a crucial part of human history that has negatively impacted people of color for absolutely generations and set them back so far that it's almost impossible to get out of? What? Anybody know? I don't know. Racism, slavery, segregation, Jim Crow laws. I don't something. If only there was something like that in human history, in American history, that has prevented people from succeeding.
It was done to try to create or make up for the wrongs of our past, but I think it's really backfired.
Yeah, it's really, excluding those excelling students in other races to fix the problems of the past, like you said. But I think the past, there were a lot of minorities that were excelling and doing really well.
Who? Who?
Despite the foot of the
Exactly.
government, and like
Yes.
kudos to them.
Yes.
Incredible, strong.
Okay, but you realize that even if people did succeed, despite the foot of the government on their neck, that shouldn't be the norm. And because of that foot on the neck, as you said, there are hundreds, thousands of families that did not succeed, that could not succeed because of that. Like, what the fuck are you? Ooh, we are not even halfway through this video, chat.
You are taking a group of people and judging them on their race and setting them aside, giving them a special treatment. If you are uplifting a person or you are trying to suppress a person because of their race, that is racism. So we're supposed to
Oh
believe
my
that
God.
like Barack Obama's children are like struggling because they're
That's
black.
not what it, oh my fucking God. There's no way you niggas have such an elementary understanding of how the fucking world works. There's just no possible shot. Like, yeah, nobody is fucking arguing that Will Smith's kids are struggling just because they're fucking black. But guess what, bitch? There's like 3 Will Smiths in the world, nigga. What about the thousands of other people struggling?
So I pulled my oldest daughter out a public school in Florida. We were having debates about pulling down statues and changing names, and some of the school board members and some of the activist groups were saying that black children could not learn because of names on buildings, and that is completely...
It's the fact that the names on the buildings were probably made or named after racists and people that fought for slavery during the Civil War. Yeah, maybe those people shouldn't be cemented in history. I don't know, just any agreeers? I don't know. Me personally, I wouldn't, as a black kid, I wouldn't want to go to a school that was named after the leading general in the Civil War that fought to keep my people enslaved. Me personally, I wouldn't want to do that. That's just me. I'd rather go to Malcolm X High than Robert E. Lee High.
It basically says that because we have a higher level of melanin, somehow our brains don't work.
That's not what it is! I have to relax.
First of all, I would like to say that affirmative action programs, the biggest beneficiary according to the data and this has been, government data has been white women first and foremost. Second of all, I would never use Barack Obama's kids as a barometer for anything, because they do have privilege as well as Will Smith kids.
I want to buy this nigga a steak. I want to take this nigga out for dinner. Like, holy fucking shit, this guy is the GOAT.
But if we talk about Laquan Smith down the street that nobody knows, there will be some impediments based on his race. Yeah.
Why? Why do you? How do you know that?
Have you never read a book, bitch? I'm sorry.
Because people do tend to look and see race. What you were talking about is just racism, but when it's institutional and structural, it does something totally different. And when the black wealth gap is 100 years behind the white wealth gap in America, it'll take 100 years to catch up.
Why do you think that's because of racism, though?
Nani? I actually have to stop reacting because my blood pressure is actually rising. And I do not want this video to take years off of my life. So I'm trying to relax. I'm going to let the video play for a little bit. The reacts might be a little bit less spicy. I need to calm down.
Guys, why have these places stayed at a very stable poverty line? But there are systemic reasons to why these communities are like that. How would you say that?
I would say probably because of policies that are in those cities.
I need water. Holy fuck.
Racist policies, absolutely.
Hold on, we gotta define terms.
When would you say that Watson Compton became the way that it is? Was it like that in the 40s and 50s?
No, it's a growth
No,
because
I'm
of the
asking
policies,
you.
from redlining policies that were enabled.
In California?
Yeah, absolutely. California put in racist policies. I would never deny that.
All of these supposed...
Hold on, do they know what redlining is? They have to not know what redlining is.
Wouldn't a better solution be to teach our kids that we're all born in the image of God?
Oh my fucking Lord. Yeah, it'd be nice if we could all be like, oh, we're all born of the image of God. And like, no matter what skin color you are, what race you are, what ethnicity you are, you'll be treated fairly in this world, because that's not true. That will not happen.
Whether you're black or Hispanic or an immigrant from anywhere, obviously you don't have the same privileges that somebody who comes from a wealthy community, but that has nothing to do with your color. I don't think...
Look up redlining, because yes, it does.
That if you're an impoverished black kid or you're an impoverished white kid, one should receive a resource and the other shouldn't.
No one is saying, like, here's the thing. When we bring up stuff like this, the other, like, people that disagree with it will be like, well, what about the white kids that are also struggling? No one is saying to leave them behind as well. What the fuck? Yeah, they also deserve help. But the fact of the matter is that due to things like redlining, Jim Crow laws, and other racist policies that have been implemented in this dumbass fucking country, these laws, literal laws, by the way, have been enacted to specifically suppress black kids and black families and minorities. And like, it's specifically made for that. Literally, they were like, okay, you want, black and brown people to be free, do that. Okay, sure. You guys can like all live in this neighborhood that we designated for you here. By the way, we're going to go ahead and heavily police these areas. We're going to go ahead and also make sure that our banks aren't giving loans to people specifically from these areas, so that way they can't start up their businesses, that way they can't do this. We're going to make school district systems so that way the kids in these areas have to go to the more underfunded schools. We're going to do this, do that, do this, do that to try and do everything they possibly can to keep the kids in that area specifically suppressed. And because of that, that's why the shit is the way it is now. So yeah, obviously there can be white kids in these areas as well. There can be white families in these areas as well. For sure. They should also receive help. But these places, these laws were made specifically to suppress brown and black families. And there's no denying that.
But would you say if there's a majority of a particular group that lies underneath the poverty line economic, race has anything to do with that?
It could, but it's just not blanket. You don't know. And why don't we look at the families, the black families,
I knew this was gonna
who have done those amazing things in this country and study what they did to succeed. And
notice how all of them will say that they had to work way harder. Like, Is there like a single like really successful? I mean, I'm sure there are, but like a lot of successful black people always talk about like how much harder they had to work to get the same results as their other counterparts or their other colleagues or whatever the fuck. They talk about this stuff all the time if you really want to do that.
Since you are a professor, wouldn't that be, you go and look at what has worked?
Well, I would never just go to you and just look at you. Again, and I'm sorry, it's just the reality of the data. And so what I share...
Data can be broken up in umpteen different ways.
Oh, here they go. Isn't it crazy how the right always be like, oh, facts don't care about your feelings or whatever, but they be the most emotional niggas out. Well, honestly, I'm sounding pretty fucking emotional in this video. I can't lie. I'm just fucking triggered. I'm just going to keep it a bean. They could put me in a triggered compilation off of this video alone.
Florida, a lot of people that I had encountered weren't kind to others, and sometimes I would have coworkers call students retarded and using racist slurs and things like that. And from my standpoint, hearing something like that, it disgusted me. My coworkers very quickly were able to kind of distinguish me from the rest. Like, if I was going to come to the teacher's lounge, more hush conversation, people wouldn't share as much as they used to just because I would call out behavior like that.
Teachers with guns make schools safer.
Yo, this is crazy. Me personally, I want my teacher to be this guy, not John Wick. Me personally, I would like my teacher to be the dude in the blazer right here and not the Punisher. That's just me. I don't know. Why is it? Why are we going to military train teachers to handle assault rifles instead of, I don't know, maybe just controlling the guns in the country? Like, what the fuck? Yo, this is the craziest shit I've ever seen. I might have to put this video on YouTube. This is going to be like a 2-hour long video. I don't even know how long I've been reacting to this shit.
You know what? I'm going to disagree.
Hold up. He got some sense?
So I was really in between. I didn't really know how I felt about this issue at first. But then I started looking at places that had armed their teachers. So I believe that model is good. It has to be voluntary.
Yes.
So the teachers have to want to do it themselves.
Yeah.
They have to be well trained.
Yes.
They have to have.
Bro, teachers are so underpaid. Teachers are so understaffed. You want them to train how to use a gun on top of it? They can't even keep up with their curriculum, especially after COVID fucked up the whole timeline of their curriculums. What the fuck you want them to do?
If we're trusting teachers, which in some cases we do, in some cases we don't, but if my mindset is that if we're going to trust teachers to mold our children's minds and educate them,
we should also trust our teachers to kill people that enter the school. Me personally.
they're there for 8 hours a day. We should also trust and kind of enable them to protect themselves and our kids physically.
This is just insanity. I'm sorry, this is crazy as fuck.
I think by no means should we ever force a teacher to carry a gun, but if a teacher is willing to take on the responsibility of learning how to handle a weapon properly, I think that we should allow them to do that for us, and it frankly would be an incredible service to us.
Let's say you have a teacher that shows they're willing to learn how to pick up that gun and learn how to protect the kids. What if they become the active shooter or some shit? Why would you want more guns in schools? What the fuck is, like, what is this? Or we could say, hey, man, we seem to have an epidemic of mass shootings in this country. Let's just give everyone a gun. That way, if somebody has a gun, you can stop the person with the gun with your own gun.
All right, so just to break it open, this conversation is so much more nuanced than to arm or not to arm. And if you want to save a school, you need to get parental engagement. Let's look at the mindset of the individuals that are going into these homes with firearms. Those individuals are not mentally okay. There's something wrong happening, whether it's at school, in the house, whether it's, who knows, maybe it's something they're consuming online. And I think that's the parent's job to continue to engage to make sure that child is healthy. A lot of these kids, as well, that are going into schools that are not mentally healthy, they're coming from single-parent households. They're living with their grandparents. There's something intrinsically with their identity that's broken. And I think that whether you arm a school or you don't, it's not going to change it if you don't address the real issue.
Exactly. We should address the real issue, like limiting access to guns. You agree? Cool. He agrees with us, chat. Also, like, it's kind of insane that like people would rather have an instance where you're ready for a literal gunfight. By the way, Like literally like engaging in an altercation with another person via firearms. They want to advocate for that rather than just maybe having it so that way you don't even have to worry about, like, I should not have to go get my groceries or go pick up my Amazon package and make sure I have my fucking AR-15 strapped to my back just in case somebody pull up on me. You feel what I'm saying?
Arming teachers is a response measure to particular violence that goes on in our schools here in America. And personally, I think we should focus more towards solutions to prevent these occurrences from happening rather than just implementing responses implying that these actions will occur.
And I'm just going to be honest with you, you don't want me to have a gun because I had to go back to therapy in the last few months. And so I agree with a lot of what you guys are saying, what your plan was. But I would also say mental health. You got to understand, some of these school shootings are done because people have snapped.
People have natural biases and things like that, and people could act on those biases. Then they could be guns drawn and not a clear mind, you know? Like, as a parent, how would you feel knowing that you don't know which teachers have a gun and you have bad experiences with prior teachers? What if that teacher that absolutely, you know,
so
blown
my answer to your question is I feel the same way about the guard in front of my kid's school. I don't really know the guard, but he's gone through training. And I presume that he knows what he's doing. And frankly, I feel the same way about a police officer. I don't need the police officer, but they've gone through training and they were willing to take on that responsibility. And so I would apply.
Yes, and we all know police officers are known for doing their job extremely well. Yeah, and, you know, I agree with her. I don't know that police officer, but, you know, they've gone through the training. You know, they know exactly what they're doing, and I trust them with every part of my being. I've never been nervous around a police officer.
We don't really know what is happening in these classrooms.
I'm not saying
Okay, hold on. First of all, teachers should not have to worry about doing all that shit with guns or whatever the fuck because they're so swamped with taking care of your dumbass kids. Secondly, everything you just said about a teacher is also applied to parents, except even worse so, because at least teachers have to go through education. They have to make sure they're qualified to even teach. They have to make sure, like, and the chances are that that teacher is well more equipped to deal with stuff like that than a parent is to have a kid, because everybody's having kids all the fucking time and there's dumbass parents literally everywhere.
In Uvalde, if there was a teacher who could actually save those children, then maybe
Because what is with this, like, obsession with, like, being a fucking G.I. Joe character? What is with this? Like, the type of person that would, like, willingly be like, yeah, I want to own a gun so that way I can save the class if a school shooter happens or whatever the fuck. Like, what is the point of that? Also, exactly what Scoop said. The cops were there listening to kids get fucking slaughtered, and they're trained professionals. Who's to say that the teacher would have been any fucking different?
When we place teachers with a firearm in the classroom, it takes the instance of a violent occurrence from a possibility in the minds of these children to an inevitability.
It is a concealed and carry weapon that has gone through the process of the local sheriff's department, background check, training, checkups,
no one knows
everything.
But the teacher
no one knows.
And the police
I have a
department.
logistical question.
Yeah.
Does this teacher have the gun on them?
Yes.
You wouldn't
It is
know.
holstered on them?
At all times.
So then it's not the kid. What do you think? The kid's not going to see it?
Concealed carry.
It should never be in a place of a
What concealed
child.
carry. It's illegal
No,
to
I know what a
brandish.
concealed carry
I
is,
just want to clarify.
but my thing and why this question sort of enrages me. Why are we asking teachers to carry guns? When did this become an occupational hazard?
That part, real rap.
When did we walk into school and people were like, by the way, you could be shot today, so maybe you want to have your Glock strapped on you because who knows, this might be your last day on earth. That is ridiculous. If you 50 years ago were to look at a teacher and be like, hey, do you want to hold this gun with you? You know, like, you might need it. They're going to scratch their heads and look at you funny. This is opening up a bigger conversation, right? But I think that even though it is voluntary, right, we still need to have this conversation. Like, it still needs to happen of why, even if a teacher was willing to carry a gun to school, they are even having to be asked to do that in the first place.
Everyone should sit down for this. Everybody should sit down for this. How is this nigga not sitting down for this?
Every day I wake up and I hand to you guys the most precious thing in my entire life, my children. I think that it's important that our society will reflect how much we value you guys. I think that you should receive bonuses if you do a great job. If you're able to represent all of us as Americans, both conservatives.
Teachers are some of the most important members to society, period. and they get paid fucking scraps.
When I see the entire budget that the state of California, for example, spends on education, and I realize that a sliver fraction of it only goes to you guys, it breaks my heart. And frankly, it makes me so angry. I don't need more bureaucrats. I need more good teachers.
I left the K through 12 and went to the community college, and I do pretty well. So I'm going to be clear with that. But also, I have a master's.
So you're not oppressed. Thank
so
God.
I have a master's, but
I would never wish bad on anybody. I just hope she has a minor inconvenience within the next couple weeks. Nothing crazy. Like, I don't know, maybe she gets like a flat tire, has to go fill it up at the gas station real quick. I just hope she has a very minor inconvenience within the next couple weeks.
I had to work really hard to get where I'm at. But I'm also in a doctoral program, and you're right, I'm paying out of pocket too. Again, I had a student the other day saying, I can't pay my electric bill. How much is your electric bill? I'll pay your electric bill. And so I put up students in hotels because they—
man.
I have a student who doesn't have a family. He told me the other day, I need a dad. I said, I'll be your father, because it just—
mans. Oh my, this is a good fucking teacher.
My heart that a 19-year-old is in this world alone.
But the fact that he has to do that at all, man, like, that's so sad.
It's just interesting to think that we are always told, like, teachers are heroes, they're teaching the youth of America, but also we're not going to give you enough money to survive comfortably. Like, you're gonna struggle every day. There have been days when I go to work and I'm like, am I gonna have money to put gas in my car? I guess we're gonna find out, right? And I know so many other teachers who are struggling to keep afloat. I can't even imagine I can't even think about having a family.
That should put a tear to my eye.
I think that
real shit, that's touching,
I was not
man.
the strongest student. I didn't necessarily see the point in what we were doing. And I think that ultimately that felt like it was because education was something that I had to get through, not necessarily something that I was obtaining. But I think what really pushed me to go into teaching was wanting to give kids a space where they didn't feel the way I feel growing up, where they felt like they had power to make choice in their education, and that their education could be powerful in aiding them to do what they wanted to do.
So
I need to hear what this—
make. And I'm not going to use you as the example. I'm going to use a friend of mine. She's been at a school for a number of years. I want to say it's 6, 7, 8 years, and she's become tenured. And through her tenureship, she's accumulated so much wealth. I'm appalled at how much she's making, because she teaches Spanish to 6th graders, and she's making over $150,000.
This nigga knows one person doing well. Yo, this is crazy. This is like the other girl saying, well, there's a couple black people I know that are really rich, so, like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, what is this?
And how much experience goes on with that, too?
It must, I'm assuming, because you've invested into your career, which I think everybody should. But for me, I look at it as you're making $150,000 in 9 months.
The prompt
I can promise you that is not the norm.
It clearly was, our teachers paid enough.
Yes.
And, I mean, we're not. I've had to work second jobs doing DoorDash just because I wasn't making enough. If you look at these shoes, they are ripped, they are broken. From a teacher.
Oh my gosh.
I could not even buy these shoes myself. You know what I'm saying? Sure. I don't make enough money.
So I wanted to clarify, this isn't an absolute. I'm not saying that every teacher is paid enough. I have no idea what your salary is. I have no idea any of those details. I'm just recognizing that if a teacher is getting 9 months and their salary is in 9 months, they get a summer off. Most of society isn't given 3 months to just go.
Hold on. You think that during summer vacation, teachers just get to fuck off and go on vacation? When do you think they have the time to plan the next year's curriculum? When do you think they do all that stuff? This nigga might be a fucking idiot. I don't use that lightly. This nigga might be dumb as hell.
Assuming they have 3 months, I'm an 11-month employee. For 1 whole month out of the year, I'm not paid anything. Nothing. I have to figure out my funds, save money that I don't have, to try to supply for a month.
Yo, the ignorance level is troubling.
I don't get supplementary income. Like, that doesn't happen.
Critical race theory is anti-American.
This one might make me rage quit the video. Well, they had to end off the video with a fucking banger, huh? Oh, I guess there's another topic after this.
Same teacher, actually, who was asking about her pronouns. She said that she was going to be introducing some race-themed books. My daughter recorded this conversation in class. So what proceeded to happen is she started to talk to the children in their, I guess, identity groups. Oh, as an African-American child, how are you discriminated against? As an Asian child, she went through all of except white people. It became total chaos in the classroom. There was no education going on here. They were just literally going at each other, talking about who was more oppressed. It's not a matter of if something was racist, it's a matter of when something was racist or how the racist thing happened. So they automatically assume, critical race theorists, that racism is embedded into every single thing. How do you look a child, specifically a black child, in the eye and tell them, I'm sorry for you because of your skin color? There's no hope for you in the greatest—
No! My God, no one is saying that. Like, not a single person. I don't understand why they think that that is what critical race theory is.
Greatest country literally for them, because black Americans are the most successful black people in the entire world.
I wonder if that has anything to do with the fact that in a lot of predominantly black or African countries, they have been colonized by white niggas. Like, what are we? I need a moment. I need a drink of water. I need a drink of water. I just want to know. Like, they're saying that this is happening. This is such a widespread thing happening in the country. Where?
You know what I love about America? My mother immigrated from Morocco. She's a Jewish person. Everywhere around the world, we're known as the Jew. In America, we're known as American. And I think there's something so powerful about empowering any community.
Okay, but that is not the same for black or brown people or anybody that looks even remotely not white.
Okay, so first of all, I think we need to define what critical race theory is. Critical race theory is a theory that Derek Bell and Kimberly Crenshaw and a bunch of former Harvard law students came up with, where they theorize that within certain American laws, racism is just embedded.
Which you cannot even argue.
And so I'm sorry for your experience, because you shouldn't have to go through that. Nobody should have to go through that. I don't tell my son you can't do anything. I have told my son you have to work twice as hard. I have to tell my son you're a black man in America. There's certain things you need to do to survive.
I mean, first, I think the idea that we are teaching children in critical race theory in schools is ridiculous. As he pointed out, this is a high level, like university level framework. You are not gonna walk into like Isabel's elementary school 5th grade classroom and see Isabel telling these people about the legal structure. In my opinion, I define myself as an American, right? I define myself as someone who is proud of my country, someone who can look at the mistakes that my country has made in the past and the things that are keeping other people oppressed and recognize that these are still existing and that we need to work towards changing that. So I don't see how critical race could be anti-American, because that's how I define American. And I think it's very nuanced because people define American in—
Yo, she farting on this topic. Straight up wet farting on this. Real shit.
different ways,
I actually
right?
don't completely disagree with your definition of it. I think that maybe you think it's systemic and I think it's the individual. But
how could you say racism is not systemic in America when it literally is? The stupid thing about like anecdotal experiences is that you can't like debate that. You know what I mean? Like, okay, yeah, you've had like bad experiences and stuff like that. Like, I'm like, sure, I guess. Like, but how are you supposed to like, you know what I mean? Like, what are you supposed to do about that? But then like where you can get anecdotal experiences and use that as like some evidence or whatever is when you take people's anecdotal experiences about them experiencing, you know, even individual racism, like she says, right? But even then, we're not even talking about individual racism because there's going to be racist people and shit like that, of course, whatever. Where's the critical race theory is literally all about systemic racism, which is true. You cannot really argue that. And the fact that like some of these systemic racist laws or whatever are still in effect today.
I do definitely teach my daughters, like as a girl in this country, it is going to be a different experience
right.
than your father had. But I don't think it's beneficial at all to kind of institute that victimhood in their long-term mentality, because then you actually
okay, so it's not victimhood, it's preparing your child for the world they're gonna have to grow into, right? Like, yeah, if you had a daughter as a little girl, you're gonna have to teach her like, hey, life is going to be different for you than it is for your father or your brothers. Same thing you'd say for your brothers. Same thing you'd say for your child if they were a minority in this country. It's literally the same thing. So I feel like you can't argue against one and then be for the other one. That kind of doesn't make any sense.
I don't believe that there's a victimhood to it. I think it's just kind of amplifying that, hey, this is the truth, this is what happens, and let's move forward with that. Having that knowledge to be able to kind of navigate through life is better than just, oh, well, I assume I'm the same as, you know, my white counterpart. Oh, why is she able to do this? Why does she have this opportunity that I don't have?
But they are the same.
But she has that opportunity.
They are the same, is what we're saying.
I think what the difference is, we're stating normative statements, and you guys are claiming that we're presenting prescriptive claims. So the normative statement that we're presenting is, these events happen in American history. These are the outcomes that have led from those events. What you guys are saying is, we're then adding prescriptive statements. That's why you should never really try, because you'll never make it in this country.
That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that if you negatively press a child with these thoughts, that will be the outcome.
So do we just never teach kids about anything bad that happened? Like, this makes no sense. What argument is she even making?
Because that's how human beings work. This is a psychological fact.
The quality of education is the government's job.
I'm not sure what they mean by that.
I believe it is the government's job. But look, our funding comes through government. I mean, our schools are government entities. So it is. Policies are government. Everything's government. I mean, if you're in public education, you're in government. We're bureaucrats. That's literally our job. So it is government's job. So yeah, I believe it is. I believe it is the job of the government, because schools are government. That's literally what they are. They're government institutions.
Does the government have a role in education? Absolutely. I think that parents have to play a role as well, and not only being involved with what their kid is learning in school, but also reinforcing strong educational skills. And that doesn't happen unless there is parent involvement. I know the kids that are being worked on at home versus the kids that aren't. And it plays out in test scores, it plays out in their engagement in class, and it plays out in their behavior.
You have to remember that we're a representative government, that it's based on the people, right? And so these public school systems are waiting for the parents to come in and say, this curriculum is not what I want to teach my kids. We, the taxpayers, control the curriculum. But the problem is we haven't been engaging in that system because we've been so distracted and pulled away from the education from our kids.
No, I would agree. The communities need to absolutely be more involved in their school boards and what's going on in education. And unfortunately, we don't have that. And oftentimes, a lot of politicians, albeit Republicans that are trying to cut a lot of social programs and a lot of social investment, as well as corporate Democrats who want to cut a lot of social investment, both of those, we see areas of corruption within our education system.
Well, and let's be clear on what we're talking about government is. So when we talk about on a local level, it is government. That's literally what government is. When your kid goes into the school, they're going into a government institution. So I think when we're talking, we're not talking about parents not being involved. I want you involved. Heck, please be involved. So I think our issue, when we were talking about government,
I think the problem with that though, yeah, the parent being involved is great, but I mean, you know how hard it is to just live? Like the cost of living is so fucking high. Like parents got so much on their plate. Some of them are working 2-3 jobs. Like they can't be any more involved than they are. You know what I mean? It's very difficult for a lot of parents. So I feel like putting the responsibility of a good education on the parents that are very likely struggling to even keep up. I feel like that's kind of I mean, what more do you want from them?
So you guys teach in government schools, public schools. Essentially, you're teaching a diverse student body. You have conservatives, you have liberals. How can you better represent us, half of this country? It's sadly causing us to lose faith in you guys. We want to support you guys. We want to send our kids to your schools and your classrooms.
And I think that when we talk about all these differences, how do we sort of represent both of these sides, right? How do we bring these people together? I think it's also really important to remember that historically, this curriculum is one-sided in favor of conservative views, in favor of supporting white students, not students of color, right? And so I think that we really, as a country, need to take a look at our education system. I think we can all agree that there needs to be a lot of change in the system, right? And look at how we can build a system that represents, reflects, validates the experience.
Hey, some people was farting on this video.
Beautiful.
That ass. Good shit. Good shit. Yo, they was farting. They was farting on this video. Hey, man, look. I don't know, bruh. That was crazy. That was crazy. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe. I don't know if we'll do more videos like this in the future. I know this was a doozy. Sorry to put y'all through that, but it be like what it be like.